Hello, welcome to the fourth episode of the ninth series of the Temple of Surf, the podcast. Today with us from Australia, legendary surfboardshaper Darren Handley. We discuss with him about his amazing career, the relationship he built with pro surfers like Mick Fanning and Stephanie Gilmore, surfboards, and much more. Hello, Mr. Darren. Welcome to the show. Where are you today?
I'm in Burleigh Heads at my factory in my office, spending time talking with you on this beautiful starting of summer day.
Fantastic. So thanks a lot for spending time and talk with me. How is the surf today in over there?
Today we've got an onshore wind. The surf's been really good the last 2 or 3 days. So we've got a lot of onshore, still a little bit of swell, but all my athletes are surfing in the other little hidden corners of South Australia or down the coast in Ballina and stuff like that. So there's some little secret places that we surf when the winds are northerly this time of year. This is the time of the year that the surf's not so good.
Yeah, I guess because Australia, I always confuse myself. While it's winter for the rest of the world, for you is summer, right? So it's like a different perception, but I always make mistake. Maybe it's the Christmas period that is December in Europe, and anyway, snow and things. So we're going to talk so many things today, but the first thing that I would like to ask you, I ask everyone on the show to start with, is, in your opinion, what is the most important thing in surfing?
Oh, what's the most important thing in surfing? What's really important is style. So style's something that some people have really good style, like Ethan Ewing, Mick Fanning, Steph, beautiful style. Style is something very hard to teach. Style comes by people being a natural ability at surfing. The second thing I think in what's really important in surfing is you've got to have a good surfboard to make it make your surfing reach to the top level. You can't win world titles on bad boards. So surfboard style, and I think they're the most two common things.
Okay. I like the answer. For once, is not to have fun, because most of the people answer to have fun. But I got your point. It actually is very relevant, and especially when we talk about performance surfboards like the one you do. Definitely, you need those to win world title, right? So it's important.
Yeah, look, there's two answers to that question. One is yes, have fun. That's true. But my job is to make people win world titles. So, and I pick talent from young ages. All my athletes that have won world titles or are going to win world titles all come to me when they're 12 years old, and I pick them because they've got good style and they've got that drive to be win world titles. So my stable of surfers at the moment is amazing. So yeah, but I still tell them to have fun as well.
That's good. Not to continue, because in effect, I had the possibility to interview some pro surfers, and they told me, okay, we are athletes, we are professional, but if the component of fun is removed from us, then at the end, we don't perform like the way we should be. And sometimes we need not to think, and just to get into the wave and surf without whatever is happening around us, going from media or people, coaches, whatever, So sometimes just like a pure dose of fun is good. But I'm interested in something, because you're saying I'm picking athletes from the young age. How does it work? Do you have like a system? I don't want to steal secrets from you, but because you have so many and so amazing, how does it work?
I'm lucky in one sense that we live in one of the beautiful places, one of the most beautiful waves in the world, being, the Superbank, Kira-Duramba. So, and when I was growing up as a young kid, You could go and surf Kira with, 2-3 people in the water because, it wasn't as many people here. Now everyone moves here because they believe this is the place that you've got to be, where all the coaches are, all the good shapers are, all the good waves are, if they want to get onto that CT. So I was lucky to grow up here. Mick Fanning grew up here, Stephanie Gilmore. So that was my, I had Parker riding for me, Luke Egan, all those guys. Luke moved from Newcastle to come here. So that was the start of it all, Mick and that. But from my experience now, and from when I'm working with coaches and with certain surf shops, we're always looking for good talent. There's so much good talent around that I'll look at and they'll send me video of them surfing, or the shop will send me video. And so I pick them, and I can tell that they're going to be a good surfer, and I can tell that I can make them be a pro surfer or a world champion. But then once you meet them and talk to them, then it's about their attitude, whether that they have the attitude to actually want to work hard. Because if they're going to put in 110%, then I'll put in 110%, where some athletes I've picked up and their attitude hasn't been right. And so I've had to let them go, and I've picked up other athletes.
Yeah, I guess there is something more than just to be an athlete. You have to have the commitment to dedicate part of your life into the sport and to become number one. Yeah, it doesn't happen every day. You were saying amazing names in the world of surf, like Mick Fanning and Stephanie Gilmore. But yes, they have always like one additional gear, we say in Italian. I don't know if it's the same in English, but they go faster than that, right? So it's definitely important. So how does it work, for you, shaping surfboards with them? I guess they give you a lot of input, right? Or it's you mainly dictating should ride.
Okay. So how it started was that when I was young and surfing quite well, and Mick Fanning was very young, he was 12 years old when he came to me, I knew more than Mick. So I would tell Mick, try this. And he would surf the boards, surf good on the boards, tell me that it was good. And over the years, he would come into the shaping bay. I'd show him what I'm doing, and then he would tell me, once all the aerials and everything came in, what he would want on the board. So I taught him what the rocker does, what the concave does, what moving the fins do, the narrow nose, the wide nose, the round tail, square tail. So I gave him all that information. And Mick had 120 boards a year of experimentation to find those perfect surfboards. So that was the catalyst of making sure that we did all the homework for everyone else to get the perfect board for Mick to win world titles. Now, with all my athletes, Molly, Steph, Ethan Ewing was just in half an hour ago, Liam O'Brien, who else is there? All of those guys. They come into the shaping bay with me. I show them what they've ordered. I show them how I shaped it. I tell them why I'm putting the fins here, why the concave is deep here and shallow here, why it's this tail, so that they can go out and understand what I've done to make their job easier, because now they understand, so that when they come back and talk to me, they go, that single concave with a bit deeper, or was sticky, or was bad. So now it's a two-way relationship in the shaping bay with the surfer and the shaper.
Okay, no,
and that's how we get the good results.
Okay. You explained it quite quite well. Yes. So for them, it's very important to get to know the board, what you have done, in order to tell you what to change. Yeah, because otherwise, it will be very subjective, right?
Yeah. Well, Andy Irons used to get boards from all of us, like from me, from Eric Alcawa, JS, Chile, and we just all making boards and send them off and Billabong and pay for them all. And he wouldn't do that work. He'd just ride the board and goes, yep, that one feels good. I'm going to ride that. So, but he had such natural talent that he could make everything work. But I think if he would have done that work earlier, he would have been even better.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. When we go to another level of athletes, right? Those that they can do whatever they want, even with a wooden surfboard. No, definitely.
It's the same with other sports. Same with other sports. Like, there's some racing car drivers that are just unbelievable. Give them any car, they can just, they're one with the car, so.
Exactly. But some of us, they are created in a special way. We never understand how, but definitely, it's the beauty of the sport, isn't it? At a certain point.
Oh, it is. I'm pretty sure it's the only sport in the world that the surfboard is a handmade product. Every other sport in the world, it's made by machine, or molded or anything like that. The surfboard, there's no you can't go and buy. Every surfboard is a little bit different because of it's all made by hand. The shaping machine shapes it, but you've still got to finish off the glass. Some are heavier and some are lighter. So it's a handmade product, and that's why some boards are incredible and some boards are not as good. So that's the only, and I don't think it'll ever be where a machine will make a surfboard completely.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. In fact, there is a huge discussion about computer-shaped, machine-made surfboards and shaped fully, 100%, and as well some little touches that improve performance. And that we go towards, of course, professional athletes and professional shapers like you. And talking about surfboards, I like to collect surfboards. I know that certain people will tell me, Alessandro, you should not collect surfboards. You should surf them and then trash them as when they are over. But what to do? Each one of us has their guilty pleasure. But talking about surfboards, what was your first proper surfboards as a kid 2 years ago? And perhaps do you still have it?
My first surfboard, I learned on my father's surfboard, which was a big 7'2" purple thing. It was big and huge. But my first surfboard was given to me by a surfboard sprayer back in the 60s called Shane Egan. He was a really good airbrusher. And that was my first ever surfboard that I owned. And definitely don't have it because surfboards then weren't made as good as they're made today. So it just broke and disintegrated and stuff like that. I got into the surfboard industry and just started making surfboards. My first surfboard I made was for my brother before I made one for me. But I wish I did have all those boards, but I don't. But I have kept all the winning boards that Mick, Steph, Ethan, and I've kept them, and then I give them back to them when they get old enough. So Mick now has all his winning boards in a room with all his trophies. Steph has all her winning boards. Ethan is slowly building up some winning boards. So they're the ones that mean the most to me, and I give them to them because I feel like that's a proud moment for them. I'm just the shaper, but they're the ones that went out there and performed and won the event. So they're the collecting ones for me. If you look in my room here now, there's team boards all over the place. I've got Mick's, I've got Ethan's, I've got Steph's, I've got Molly's. They're everywhere. And if I kept on keeping the boards, I'd have 5,000 surfboards. I'd go broke. I got to sell them.
Yes. Yeah, you need also a huge space for 5,000 surfboards, my wife would have to
rent a shed.
Yeah, exactly. My wife would have divorced me already, She's not happy already for the one that I hang around the house. So, but anyway, that's my problem. So, talking about you as a surfer, what was the best wave of your life?
That's an easy question. The best wave of my life is Kira. Before the Superbank, Kira was just was unbelievable. I was very, very fit surfer. Was no jet skis or anything like that. So We used to get the longest barrels and just sit in these barrels in the cyclone swirls, and it was fantastic. One of the other great waves that was similar to Kira was in Mexico when they had that contest in 2007, I think it was, the rip curl contest in Mexico. And then what I've really enjoyed, and I've been lucky enough to do a lot of work, is I've spent a lot of time in the Kelly Slater wave pool. And that to me is also just an incredible wave, especially for my age now, where I could go up there and surf that wave every day of the week. I love it. And now there's one in Dubai. I can't wait to go.
Abu Dhabi, yes. And
Yeah.
it has been the news of the week, right? Because everybody talks about it. And
Yeah.
Kelly said that is even better of the one that is in the surf ranch, right? So
Yeah, so Steph just came back from there and she said it's incredible. She said the left is unbelievable. She had the best backhand barrels she's ever had. So yeah, so I'll probably be going up there. Won't be this year, but be early next year sometime to try it out with probably some people. So looking forward to it.
I'm sure they're all waiting for you to test and to spread the word of this magic wave. It's just 1 week. No, it's not even open, and everybody talks about it. So
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, it has. I've been to all the wave pools, and they're all good in their way. And the Kelly one is the best wave, but it's very expensive, and you have to wait a long time for your wave. So it can be quite not boring, but it's just beautiful. It's just I would love to be able to walk over to Kelly's wave pool across the road here, catch 2 waves before work every day, have a shower, have a coffee, and go to work. Then I didn't have to paddle out snapper. I didn't have to fight with some guy that wanted a wave more than me. I didn't have to miss my wave and fall off. I just knew that at 7:15 and 7:23 are my 2 waves. I just have to be there, surf them, have my coffee, go to work with a smile on my face. That's life to me.
I agree. I agree. Oh my God. Yeah, for me it's like 1.5 hours away, but still, what matters is the frame. Like it's really like precise, and yeah, I think will put a smile on a lot of people's face here at least here in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Definitely we're waiting for that. Luckily we have one, but we don't have so many waves, so it's okay. We can deal with that. Yeah. Let's talk about surfers. Okay, obviously you said a lot of very important names in the surf, but you met hundreds of surfers in your life. Was there a meeting with one of them that was particularly meaningful for you, that gave you more than all the others?
Yeah, for sure. There's 2. It's the Mick Fanning meeting was when I walked up to Mick Fanning. He was just a little kid riding some local surfboard, and I walked up to him and I said, I want to sponsor you. And he goes, oh, that's sick. I go, oh, and I'm going to give you 2 boards a year and you can swap them for another 2 boards. He goes, oh, that's amazing.
Wow.
And that was, if I didn't go up to him and I didn't have him, who knows what would have happened. And the other one was Stephanie Gilmore. I used to watch her surf Greenmount, and one of her friends, this is when she was 12, one of her friends was she was from Florida, and she was coming in buying boards with her brother. And then Steph actually came with her one day for her to pick up boards. And I said, oh, yeah, I've seen you surf. I'd like to make you a couple of boards if that's okay. And she said, oh, that'd be great. And they were just the quick meetings at the start that sort of, I was coming up in my business and they were coming up in pro surfing, and we just hit in the middle like that. And, that's where they become multiple world champions, and that's where my brand became, a strong international brand. So they were the 2 they were at the right age, and I was at the right age for it to be perfect.
Fantastic. It doesn't happen every day to meet Mick or a Steph like that.
Yeah, Joel Parkinson came along after that, and we with Joel riding for me about 3 or 4 years, but it was very hard to have Joel and Mick together because they were both going for the same title. So what I was giving to one, giving to the other. So I had to just Joel go and keep concentrating on me.
Okay, you have to make a choice, but I think it was a successful one.
It was very successful. Best decision of my life.
Exactly. Going back in, let's call it innovation. Like we discussed before, the process of little changes, but it's very important. That will help a board to perform better for a professional surfer. In the world of surfboard making, there is a lot of talk about innovation, innovation of materials, innovation of hydrodynamics, innovation like that. How do you tackle this subject? It's really for you kind of again very accustomed process, or you're looking on new materials, or you're looking on new things?
Yeah, look, always looking. So the process, this is a long part to this story. So one of the things is who should be looking at the innovation should be the people that we buy the blanks and the cloth and the resin from. These companies over years have been supplying us with blanks and resin and cloth and everything, and they haven't done the innovation at all. All they've done is just keep on doing the same stuff. They don't have any team riders. They don't have to sponsor anything or anything like that. So they've been making a lot of money over years, buying a lot of property. And these companies are very successful, very wealthy companies, but they haven't put any work in the innovation. They also haven't put any work in the environmental side of the things, which is very important to Europe, because Europe is leading the way, or trying to lead the way, on sustainable surfboards. And there's been companies over there that have tried to make blanks out of corn and sugar cane, and I got another blank from France last week. So they're trying to lead the way, but if the pro surfers don't ride it, then the public's not going to buy it. Then you've just had all this carbon come in, the dark arts sort of stuff, and now that was a little bit successful, but you've also got JS, Pizel, Mayhem. They've all got their own versions of this carbon, but they haven't done any research on it. They've just said they've done research, but it's just a vacuum bag carbon board that what they call is a little bit of tech. I was lucky enough to meet with Adrian Newey, who makes the F1 race cars, through Mark Webber, and I did a lot of work on carbon with him and understanding it. So what we're looking at now is people are coming and knocking on my door all the time with new stuff, new innovation, new ways of making boards lighter, faster, stronger, more sustainable, eco-friendly. But it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience. So Ethan Ewing, and right beside me here is there's 7 boards that are sustainable, eco-friendly with different materials. So they're going out to the surfers this week to see if that works. So hopefully it will work. So we are always trying, but we don't tell the world what we're doing until we've actually got a product that's going to change the surfing. So as soon as Ethan Ewing, Stephanie Gilmore want to ride it in an event, like Steph rode the dark arts in the wave pool event, then we know we've got something. So that was the dark arts, but it's not for everyone. But yeah, we're working on that all the time, and it's very hard to make a board better than what we've been making over the last 25 years. But we're working on making them stronger, making so less of them break, making so they're more consistent, so the surfers don't have to ride so many, which is another sustainable. So we're not throwing boards away, and just making sure we're keeping our waste under control. And yeah, so there's a lot of work going into it, but we're not there yet. And I would say within the next within the next 10 years, we have to be there. We can't keep on making surfboards the same way because I don't think it's sustainable for, especially in Europe. So I think, I think within the next 2 to 10 years, you'll see some major changes in surfboard manufacturing.
Now, what is important, I understand that, of course, you want to announce it to the world only when things will be perfect and ready. That is also part of who you are, and what you represent in the surf industry. So it's your name, obviously. And then, there are a lot of things that it's good to know that you're working and you're interested in that. Also because we are surfers and we are living in the ocean. I mean, not in the surf pool, in the ocean, nevertheless, still water. And there are a lot of things, that we go from the wetsuits, to the surfboards racing, and all the things that we wear, even the wax at a certain point, So it's important to see that we try to find a choice that is protecting the environment as much as possible, in still allowing us to perform and to surf, So I think it should be coming from us as a surf culture, a large world, before everything else, before everybody else, right? So we have a responsibility.
Yeah, we live around the environment. We see, the sun come up and the sun go down. We see the winters and the summers come and go. So the birds, the sea life, the shoreline, so as simple as an oil spill, can just wreck an area where we've grown up. So I think, so I think surfers and people that live in the ocean or the ocean side understand the environment more than people that live in the cities and and inland on the farm. So it's our responsibility to keep our backyard as clean and as best we possibly can for all our kids and grandkids and to enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. It makes sense. We need to protect our future. I have a question. Maybe is a bit controversial, at least in the surfboard shaping industry. But today is still possible to be a successful shaper. What I mean, obviously the industry is saying there is not so much margin on a surfboard. You need to produce a lot in order to make a living out of it. Of course, a lot of shapers started a few years ago. So they have customers, they have people, athletes, people that are buying from them regularly so they can sustain. But it is feasible for a new shaper to be out there and to build up his own brand like you did, for instance.
I think that for sure. I think the problem that everyone has is that they want to come in. The first thing they want to do is learn how to shape. They don't know how the process of glassing, sanding, putting fins in, understanding the materials they work with. They just want to go, I want to be a shaper. So they want to start from the top, and feel like that's the way to do it. The reason I'm so successful is because I started from the bottom and worked my way to the top. But the reason why there won't be any new shapers coming up because they're going to just come into the market and try to copy everything that we've already done. All the work that we've done, rockers, all the boards, single, double, concave, all the fins in the same, rounded squares, noses like this, shaping machines. The next person that wants to come in and be a shaper is the guy that's going to come in with some innovation, the guy that's going to come in with boards made out of something different, the guy that's going to come in and, like the Firewire did years ago, with Bert Berger, someone, if you want to change the world, some young guy that just goes, oh, I enjoy shaping that, but I want to shape it out of, different foam or different materials, or just anyone that's just copying what we've been doing for over the last 25 years, they're not going to come out of the box. They're just going to be stuck in the box that we've been in for the last 30 years.
Yeah. And the box becomes shorter and shorter and shorter, right? Because it's overpopulated.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
for them, not for
you got that guy in Off me. You got a guy in California. I can't think of his name, but he rides the twin fins with the funny noses and all that sort of
Ryan Bird.
weird shape.
Ryan Bird.
Ryan Bird, sure.
Yeah.
So there's a perfect example of someone that's come in, done something completely different. I look at it and just, I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. And it's new. And the kids out there go, wow, this is great. He's made himself a part. So if you want to be a shaper and you want to come up, do something like that.
Yeah.
Don't try to copy what I'm doing. Don't try to copy what JS is doing, Mayhem's doing. Come out of the box. Be a Rod Birch. Yeah. Rodney Daleberg. Have you heard of him before? He used to shape Ocky's boards back in the day when he used to surf against Curran and stuff. He was the same. He was 6 months to a year wait for boards. He'd only do 6 a day. He'd only do 6 to 10 a week. He was very particular on the boards, and that's just his business model.
Yeah.
Yeah. My business model is
multiple. But of course, it's like, but it's a different perspective, I guess, and that is important. It's also you have team, I guess. Maybe it doesn't. I'm not so sure. Nevertheless, yes. Sorry, because we discussed many things, so my mind is a little bit. But it definitely adding value on surfboard shaping is the key for the future shapers out there, and whoever wants to come and try to make a copy and paste with some funky color and whatever will not have like a long life, right? Because at the end, people know, where the value stands, and people want performance or want to be sure. Also, because of the cost of the surfboard is not that cheap, let's say. They want to put their money when people that they know that are reliable, right? So,
yeah, for sure. Yeah. You want to make sure that if you pay $1,000 for a surfboard, you want it to be good for someone that has experience and someone that's, only made 100 boards, and he's telling you the board's good, but so it's an expensive experience.
Let's talk about your future project. Is something on which you are working on currently that is not top secret and confidential, of course, that you like to share with me? Is something that specific or special that you're working on, or is a business as usual, if you can say?
What we're working on is just new materials. A few years ago, we did a board called the Epoxy Core. So it was a PU blank.
Mm-hmm.
We cut the center out and we put EPS foam inside as well.
Okay.
So we had both. So, and that was very good board, very successful, but the manufacturing of it, where we made it, was not a very good quality. So it didn't last for a long time. So that was a fail. The board was amazing for the team, but we didn't come to market very well. So what we're working on now is looking at all the different types of foams. There's so many different foams. There's the PU foam. There's also epoxy foam. There's variable foam. There's XRS. So we're looking at all these different foams and looking at the core and looking what Firewire's doing with the core. And all we're trying to do is change the core of the surfboard to make it stronger, to make it flex better, and to make it perform better. So that's sort of, without telling you everything we're doing, that's sort of what we're doing. And then after that, we're looking at all the different types of resins that you can use.
Okay, good to know. We're going to finish this interview with a short Q&A session, question and answer. So please answer the first thing that comes up to your mind.
Okay.
So the best surfboard that you ever rode?
Ooh. 6'2", round tail, fluoro orange all over. Amazing, until I forgot to tie it on the roof of my car and I lost it.
Oh, no. Okay. I
That was in the 80s.
I hope it belongs to
If
some.
anyone sees an orange board out there, if it's mine, please give it back. I
Exactly.
will keep that one.
Exactly. Maybe they can come back to you and give it to you back. Yeah, exactly. Your favorite shaper of all time? Of course, maybe not even contemporary, but it's up to you.
My favorite shaper of all time has to be Al Merritt.
Yeah, I agree with you. Personal question: your favorite song or kind of music?
Oh, my favorite music is 80s music.
Hmm?
And my favorite band is The Cure. And I would say my favorite song is Play for Today by The Cure.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
All I listen to is 80s music when I shake.
Ah, you do.
That's all I listen to, yep.
Okay. 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 You're blasting the music very high volume, or how does it work?
Just no, pretty quiet because my phone's ringing and
Oh, okay.
and I don't want everyone to listen to all my music because I play it on repeat.
You know, I should add this question in the shaper question, because some of them, they told me, Alessandro, we want to hear the sound of shaping a surfboard, and I said like, okay, there is a specific sound, and they told me, Alessandro, you should know there is a specific sound, because it's. I mean, I guess for somebody that ends shapes is amazing, but some of them, they're just blasting the music out loud, and the neighbor not happy. There are two schools of thoughts on this one. I think I know the answer on the next one, but let's ask anyway. Your favorite surf spot?
Yeah, Kira and Kelly's wave film.
Yeah, okay. Favorite surfer of all time for you? I don't want to get huh?
Favorite surfer of all time? Okay, I would say Michael Peterson.
Okay, why you would say that, if I can?
So Michael Peterson's a Kira boy from where I grew up. And I grew up watching Michael Peterson surf at Kira, and just he was so different than everyone else. He would let all these sets go past, and then you'd hear him whistle, and everyone in the lineup just stopped, and that was his wave. He was like a god, and everyone at that time, everyone had long blonde hair and blonde moustaches, and he had black short hair, black moustache, black board shorts. He just had this aura around him, and I was lucky enough to grow up and watch him, and you'd see him and go, oh, it was like a movie, so it was unbelievable.
I guess for the whole lineup of to freeze and give space means respect, right? It's just like you're not just a normal surfer, right?
And he was a shaper as well.
Okay, nice.
Shaper.
The last question is a little bit unusual. Don't tell me why I came up with this question, but now after over 150 episodes, I have to ask also to you. I would like to know your best relationship advice.
Oh, my best relationship advice. My best relationship advice is it's all about conversation. So in the end, with your partner, when you're sitting there in your rocking chair, doesn't matter how good looking you were when you were young, it's all about sitting there and still be able to talk to each other and have good conversation, because if you've got nothing to talk about, why even be together?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I agree with you. And it applies also to surfers and shapers. You need to have a good conversation to make progress, as we said before.
Oh, yeah. I love to talk,
It's a different romanticism, but still,
Sure.
I like to thank you so much for being on the show with me today, and I look forward to talk to you very soon, or see you in Abu Dhabi to the.
Oh, yep, I'll be there. If you hear me coming, then come and say hi.
Of course I will. Thanks a lot. Have a nice evening.
Right.
Bye. Hi, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed our today's episode. If you want to know more about us, please follow www.templeofsurf.com and all our social media. Mahalo!